shark is found in the Indian Ocean along the coastal line of Mombasa County. Also, did you know that despite its humongous size, the shark nicknamed Papa Shilingi is almost harmless to humans? Mariam Wacharo has the story of the gentle giant of the ocean. Take a look.
Kenya is an award-winning tourist destination with over 10 medals on her neck. Most of these awards are attributed to Kenya's rich culture and the diverse wildlife, including the magnificent Big Five. You're assured of catching a glimpse of the African giants in Kenya. Kenya also prides in one of the world's best beaches along the coastal counties of Lamu, Mombasa, and Kwale. But did you know that right here in Kenya is home to the largest animal in the ocean? Yes, you heard it right. The largest animal in the oceans exists right in the Indian Ocean coast of Mombasa. Famously known as Papa Shilingi, this shark, despite the scare provoked by its size, is the gentlest of animals in the ocean. The founder of the Whale Shark Trust, Volker Bassen, calls it the gentle giant of the ocean. Despite popular belief that sharks are harmful to humans, Volker says that the opposite is true. Humans pose a greater threat to sharks. Not just the whale sharks, but all shark species.
We have lost 97% of the global shark population worldwide due to the shark finning tragedy that is taking place. And the local fishermen use something called sifa, which is shark liver oil, to impregnate the wooden boats and protect them against shipworm, which otherwise would eat up the wood. And they run out of normal sharks. We don't catch any sharks anymore because they're finished. And now they figured out that they can use the liver of the whale shark.
Volker Bassen explains that President Uhuru Kenyatta signed a bill to protect the whale shark under the wildlife heritage. However, locals know very little about the benefits and the hazards they pose to the animal, something Volker says needs to change.
The whale shark now on the new wildlife bill, which Uhuru signed on Christmas in 2015, and it has the same protection as the elephant, but the locals don't know about that. One was recently just killed in Mombasa. I got a report of 2 killed in Lamu just recently. It's no reinforcement from KWS, and then we need to change that. We need to educate the fishermen that these incredible animals, they need to be left alone, because they're also very, very slow in reproducing.
His trust involves a number of departments, and given the arduous task at hand, he needs sophisticated tools. One such tool is the microlight aircraft, which he says is much better in tracking and studying the whale shark from the air instead of using a boat.
If you go out looking for a whale shark in a boat, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. The ocean is big. But by having eyes in the sky, we are able to locate them, and then the pilots and the spotter guide the boat to where the whale shark is. And in fact, from the moment that the pilot or the spotter sees a whale shark to the moment when we reach it and interact with it in the water, we have a 95% success rate.
He teams up with Dean Magets, a microlight flight instructor from South Africa, currently here to help in conserving the whale shark species and educate the locals on its benefits. He is also training the first female microlight pilot in Kenya, Maseka Githinji, a lawyer and pilot to fly the Sea Air Rolls-Royce during the adventures with the whale shark.
Got me here looking, basically, primary job is to find the whale sharks and other life from the air. Because from up there, the visibility is so much better, and you can see so much further. So that's my primary role here. My secondary role is to actually train Maseka to fly a microlight.
Maseka gives us a sneak peek into what microlight flying is about.
Flying the microlight is very different from flying a fixed wing, because with a fixed wing, you're in a cabin and you can make certain movements, and the aircraft would not necessarily react. With a microlight, every single thing you do from your hands to your feet will affect how it will move, because it's all weight shift and dependent on what you're doing. So the experience I'm gaining flying this microlight, I believe it's immense, and I would recommend it to anybody who just wants to do it for fun and who actually wants to better their skill as a pilot, because landing on the beach and taking off or anywhere it's amazing, and it requires much concentration and focus on what you're doing. So
Conserving the underwater whale shark requires capturing its lifestyle on video, documenting underwater and long hours at sea, swimming and studying the gentle giant. A job Steve Capone, who's been in the country for over 15 years, knows very well. Capone is an underwater videographer.
My main role has been to film and document the whole evolution and the activities of the project. And along the way, it has also evolved into, as technology and research methods evolved, to be able to photograph whale sharks so that we could identify them and put them in different databases.
He further regrets that Kenya has for long overlooked the resource the ocean provides, and that it's now time to change the norm and embrace conservation both on land and in the ocean.
Well, I think something that's overlooked in Kenya is the marine resources that we have right at our doorstep. Everyone's focused on safaris and that whole experience, which is great. I've been on hundreds of safaris myself. I love it. But we also have a resource that should be utilized here in the ocean, on the coast of Kenya. And it should be valued as much as the terrestrial safari type of deal. We have whale sharks 3 or 4 months of a year as they migrate through here. And it is considered one of the most thrilling and exciting wildlife experiences to swim with the largest fish in the ocean, which you can't go walk with an elephant. You can't get, so it's a very unique experience, and Kenya should embrace it. The local people who fish around here or make their livelihood out of the sea, they need to realize that, the small fish that they're taking from the ocean, which you can't eat a tiny fish. Why are they taking it? That destroys the food chain and the environment. There ought to be strict, more enforced laws of fishing so that this resource doesn't disappear.
But the question begs, why all this effort for a country whose tourism sector is limping?
First, by adding one to our big five, the biggest of them all, which we actually have here, the whale shark. So that's one thing we could boost, that we have the big six. And worldwide, if you look, the whale shark tourism is booming. To give you an idea, Holbox in Mexico, they started their whale shark initiative in 2005. They generated $240,000 in the 3-month season that they had. When I visited in 2007, they generated $12.8 million in tourism revenue. Tourists coming there just to swim with these magnificent animals. Yes, so it is a game changer if you offer this. Even if you look at the Philippines, Cebu, just a fishing village that used to kill 100 whale sharks a year, stopped killing them and started feeding them, and tourists came there to swim with the whale sharks. Now it's one of the richest counties in the Philippines. Universities and everything has been built of the money generated from the whale shark tourism. And that would be my vision for Kenya as well.
A vision much needed to awaken the tourism sector at the coast, and one we should all share. As the tourism sector looks to redesign and tap higher projections this year, it's important to consider swimming with the big sixth right here in the Indian Ocean, the whale shark. Mariam Wacharo, TV47, Kwale County.
Well, thank you so